Welcome back to Livezone Sports. It is the Super Bowl episode. We are excited. I hope you're excited. I'm Mazzi. Livezone, what's going on with you? How you feeling? Chiefs, Niners, energy pumped. How you feeling?
Energy, exactly. Energy pumped. I'm ecstatic. We in the Super Bowl week. It's prime time for Live Zone Sports. It's Live Zone Sports time. So let's get into it.
Let's go. Let's go. We're going to get into everything this week. We got Super Bowl predictions. We are going to be going live on TikTok at the Consumption Network. Livezone and Mazzi will be going live during the Super Bowl. Check us out on there. ECSI, our partner as well. Jeff going to be at the Super Bowl on the live talk show. Go check him out over there. We'll attach the link in the video. We're going to hop into it. We're going to start with some storylines for the Super Bowl. One that, looking at this Super Bowl, we're just going to get it out of the way. Taylor Swift, Travis Kelce, Super Bowl. Taylor Swift fans watching the Super Bowl now because Taylor Swift is going to be there. It's more money for the NFL. Is there something to that there that we should unpack? How do you think Taylor Swift being at the Super Bowl impacts it? And there's a crazy bet line in there. Do you think Taylor Swift's going to get proposed to by Travis Kelce at the end of the game?
That's a hot take. I don't know about the proposal part, but it does bring marketing to the NFL. I mean, if you're the NFL, of course you want the Kansas City Chiefs in the Super Bowl right now with Taylor Swift being there, because all the demographic that you're missing out on is now going to tune in to see Taylor Swift on the Super Bowl. So it makes a lot of sense on, if it is a marketing scheme or not. I still don't think the NFL is scripted in that way, or any way, to be honest with you, but I do think that, the Kansas City Chiefs definitely helped out all the people that said it was a script. So,
Yeah. The Taylor Swift thing, there was another line of how many times they're going to show Taylor Swift on the screen. I think the line's at 9.5
is that really
between the beginning and the end. Yeah, that's a line on there. So
I'm betting the over.
might throw 20 on it. Yeah, might throw 20 on it. I think I have a parlay go with it in there. We pretty much know how that ends up. Taylor Swift at the Super Bowl, obviously bringing in more people. Do I think it's scripted and what they plan to happen? No, but obviously you get more people to watch the Super Bowl, the better. Young girls, girls of all ages, teenage girls, older girls, men of all ages that wouldn't watch the Super Bowl otherwise as well, just because, and they're rooting for the Chiefs because of Taylor Swift. So there's the people in Kansas City rooting for the Chiefs, and those Swift fans rooting for the Chiefs, and everybody else is pretty much rooting for the Niners, I feel, at this point. Main sports fans, I think, don't want to see Kansas City win again, might pick them in a bet, but, I think it's going to be a crazy one. Moving forward with that, we want to bring it to Patrick Mahomes in this game. If he is able to win this third Super Bowl for him, does this put him right now in talks ahead of Tom Brady?
Absolutely fucking not.
He'll have the rings, he'll have the completion percentage, the touchdowns, the interceptions, the yards, the passing yards, the on and on and on. Everything more within the amount of time that he's been through compared to Brady. Brady doing the longevity. What do you feel on the subject of Patrick Mahomes winning the Super Bowl again? Tom Brady discussion now.
I don't like it whatsoever. Here's the reason why. I'm not looking at the stats by itself because the stats are kind of near each other, so I get why they're doing it. But the reason why for me is he's the LeBron of the NFL. He really is. We had the greatest of all time. We saw the greatest of all time in Tom Brady, and now we're moving into a new era. They have to make or look like somebody is as good as Tom Brady, but Patrick Mahomes just isn't. Patrick Mahomes is playing in a league where they protect the quarterback, right? Your quarterback doesn't get touched as much. Back in the days of Tom Brady, you had to look out for somebody ripping your head off because the defense was not coming for your chest and it wasn't coming for your stomach. They were coming right here for your head or right there at your leg, and they were trying to injure you. So for me, I think that even with the stats, Tom Brady just played in too rough of a NFL really NFL league really. So for me, I still think Tom Brady has the upper hand over Mahomes.
Absolutely. Props to Mahomes for such a speedy start, dominant start in these first 7 years. I think if he goes out and wins this game and then can duplicate these 7 years again, then we have a conversation between Patrick Mahomes and Tom Brady, based off stats, longevity, and everything. If he can double it up, put six more AFC championship runs again, three more Super Bowls after winning this, it'll be his third. So double that up and have six Super Bowls going for a seventh to Brady. Then I'm ready for the discussion. I think it's a great potential and a great start and a great story and a great idea to set Brady as the target mark. But I think he still has a lot of time, a lot of things he needs to do. The Super Bowl doesn't seal the deal for everything. I don't think we've seen every single side of Patrick Mahomes the same way we've seen Tom Brady. Again, agree with what you said in the era as well, the era. Um, you know, there was way less flag throwing, way less protection. Defense could clock you. Defense would actually come at you. Nowadays you get shoved the wrong way. It's a call. You got 15 more yards, another down, another set of downs, closer to a field goal, more opportunity to get closer. A bunch of different things play into it. Brady did what he did when he did it. Again, like you said, a Michael Jordan and LeBron thing, very similar to it. I think it's a lot closer for this one, though. I think Patrick Mahomes is off to a much closer start than LeBron was to getting to an MJ. And so right now, I like Patrick Mahomes' chances of being in that discussion a lot more. But right now, if he wins the Super Bowl, it doesn't make him better than Brady.
Yeah, I think the more comparison right now for Patrick Mahomes is to Joe Montana because of the rings and what he's done in a 10-year span, the same way that Joe Montana did it. I think that the comparison is there for that, but when it comes to Brady, you have to have not just 5 to 10 years of a great career. You need to have 15 to 20. So
Yeah.
I think that's where the comparison comes in. With LeBron and everything, I mean, yeah, the only comparison other than LeBron was Kobe and everything. So that's the reason why I think that the comparison right now is Mahomes to Montana more than Mahomes to Brady.
That's tough. I think he's already passed Montana, so it's not much of a discussion. We always got to be looking ahead. Yeah, I think I take
Four
Mahomes.
rings.
I take
Four
Mahomes over
rings.
Joe Montana any day of the week. His ability and the way he plays the game, I got him over that all the time, all the time.
That hey, everybody has their own opinion, but we agree to disagree here on Live Zone Sports.
Of
That's
course,
what we
we
do.
always do. There's another player on the Chiefs though that is going to be considered one of the greatest to do it of all time, and that's Travis Kelce, the tight end. Breaking Jerry Rice's catches all time in the playoffs last week. In the playoffs, I mean, couple Super Bowls. This guy makes catches all the time. He comes up in big plays. He always seems to be open. Every week we know going into it, this man is going to get thrown the ball, and yet somehow still comes out. He came out with 13 catches the other week. How do you let that happen with the Hall of Famer? You could double team this guy, triple team him. He always seems to find the pocket, especially with Mahomes being able to extend the play. Their chemistry is off the charts. If Travis Kelce is on this winning team and wins the Super Bowl again as a tight end, is he the greatest to ever do it at tight end if he wins the Super Bowl this year?
Once again, no. There's one person that clears that for me the same way that you clear it at the quarterback position, you clear it at the tight end position, and that's Rob Gronkowski. I think, once again, it goes back to, with Travis Kelce, I think it goes back to more of a Tony Gonzalez number 2 spot than it goes to a number 1 spot for Rob Gronkowski. The difference there is Rob Gronkowski was good at everything you put in front of him: blocking, receiving, running, whatever. With Travis Kelce is definitely on the downside of blocking for tight ends when it comes to all-time tight ends, and is great with receiving. So for me, it's more of like a Tony Gonzalez situation where we're talking about a receiving tight end. And in that case, I do give Travis Kelce the number 2 spot, but not the number 1 spot to a man that could do it all.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with you on this one. I personally might even put Travis Kelce definitely in the top 3, but probably at 3 for me. For me, rings aren't really everything for me when it comes down to a player's pure talent and what they can do on the field and how they can impact the game. Rob Gronkowski, obviously the greatest tight end to do it in my eyes. I'm from New England. It's a little bit biased, but we'll leave it at that. 4 rings, Brady as QB in and out of retirement, even with the injuries, short career, getting it done 4 times, the record yards, the amazing catches, the freakish ability he was born with, and then the athletic ability to be able to run down the field and make catches with his hands athletically, impacting the game. You had to double team him pretty much, and he still was going to get his, like you said, could block, do everything on the field. Then, personally, for me and pure talent that I've seen, didn't have the playoff success, but for me, it's an Antonio Gates is still
Yep,
above
yep.
Travis Kelce for me. The man did it for so long, so many catches, was always there, could always rely on his hands. He had the championship quarterback. They just couldn't get the wins done at the times. He always put up his numbers. It was never his fault that the team didn't show out or show up. It was always another stipulation or reason. And I feel like he was so much more impactful to that team with Phillip Rivers and whatnot. You know, Travis Kelce, the records speak for themselves, the rings speak for themselves, his abilities to catch, run routes speaks for itself. He has one of the greatest quarterbacks to do it, top 5, if we're going to be honest, no question, by Patrick Mahomes. And you know, the situation, the system with Andy Reid, everything was right for him to succeed. Nothing crazy amazing when it comes to size or ability or blocking or defense or anything like that. So it is kind of the system and where he played and the team that he's with that got him this success. So in the end, no, it's not going to make him the greatest of all time. It's just not.
I mean, yeah, I agree with you completely. So the thing that I want to say with Travis Kelce is he does have more receiving yards with 11,328 compared to Rob Gronkowski's 9,286. But this is where it gets a little tricky because when it comes to receptions, Gronk has 621 compared to Travis Kelce's 907 in his career. So he has 300 more receptions with only 2,000 more yards. So looking at that, yeah, I think the clear answer is Gronk.
Absolutely. Doesn't Gronk have a shorter career than Travis Kelce as well?
I don't know the answer to that one. So
He played 11 seasons, Gronk. How many did Kelce play?
10 so far. He's in his 10th right now.
10th season, interesting. Injury plaguing Gronk a lot. Travis, not so much. Lots of different numbers you could run in there. If Gronk could have stayed healthy and played a longer career, who knows what those numbers could have been. Um, you never know. Even if
Yeah.
Aaron Hernandez could have stayed on the Patriots and they could have played along each other, there could have been a lot more championships there.
Biggest what if of NFL history.
Exactly. You never know when it comes to the NFL. That's why I'm looking forward to the Super Bowl so much because I don't really know what to expect. End of the day, 49ers are back for a third time since 1995, third time since 2000. Live Zone. Third time's the charm in San Francisco. Are we feeling it for Brock Purdy? Is he going to impact this game? Don't give away your prediction for the game, but hint towards how you feel the chances are for San Francisco.
I mean, chances, that it's the same thing as money lines. It's a 50-50, right, at the end of the day.
Yeah.
But, for me, I'm going to go into one of my bets really quickly, looking at Brock Purdy and the game changer that Brock Purdy is. You will see him do good in the Super Bowl this year, and you will see at least 3 touchdowns come from Brock Purdy.
3 touchdowns from the last pick in the draft. He's a
Yes,
game
sir.
changer.
Game changer. Not a game manager. He showed everybody last week the reason why he is the closest thing to a Tom Brady story. He showed everybody last week.
Bold, bold prediction. 3 touchdowns. Hop over to Prize Picks. Get your Prize Picks in there. Hit the over on the 2.5. You're going to get a double payout. I've already been checking it out. So, put them in. Brock Purdy, 3 TDs. You heard it here. Live Zone's locked in with a hot take. San Francisco third time. I'm hoping for a parade, man. I'm hoping for a parade. That's all I'm saying. I want one down the sea. I'm trying to go. I'm trying to go
Yep.
middle of the week, have nothing to do. Crazy bet lines are out. We have some wild ones that I've seen on the internet. I mentioned earlier we had the Will Travis Kelce propose to Taylor Swift at the end of the football game. But I think it's only if they win the game that this prop bet comes into effect. Um, what are you feeling on this question? If the Chiefs win this game, is Travis Kelce proposing to Taylor Swift?
I think you have a better chance of both Kelce's retiring at the end of the year than Travis Kelce put up a ring on Taylor Swift's finger.
What if he gives her the Super Bowl ring?
That I would, you know,
As the
I
ring.
I would shut the TV off. I would shut the TV off because that's something that you did with your team. That is not Taylor Swift's Super Bowl ring. That is your Super Bowl ring. And honestly, for all the people that think that Travis Kelce is going to be the best tight end if he wins the Super Bowl, if he gives that Super Bowl ring to Taylor Swift, all those people that thought that will wipe that out completely. So
Yeah, I gotta agree with you. I think there's zero chance there's a proposal at the end of this game for any reason whatsoever by Travis Kelce to Taylor Swift. We have another line. We have my favorite one of the Super Bowl, and that's the national anthem over under 87.5 seconds. We got Reba performing. Should be a good national anthem, honestly. I love Reba, to be honest. Historically, she's done this before. She's usually the max she's hit is 87 seconds when she performs it. So I'm slamming the under live zone. What are you thinking Reba's going to hit on the seconds for the national anthem?
definitely going to be the under. I mean, it's 87 seconds alone. I mean, I'm looking more at like the 60, 70 seconds for this. So I think I'm going to hit the
Wow.
under.
I'm
I think
going
I'm going to hit the under.
78 seconds, 79 myself, but I definitely think they're going to hit the under on that one. I love this one too. I found this one fire. On the flyover at the beginning of the game, you can bet on the number of planes that are going to be in the flyover. Right now, the line's at 5. What are you taking? Over or under 5 planes in the flyover for the national anthem?
Ooh, I think I'm going to go. Ooh, that's a hard one. I think I'm going to go over. I think we're going to see 6.
I'm with you on it. I'm going 6. I don't think we're going to see 4. I think we're going to see 5 or 6. So I'm going to hit the over on that one, rock it with the 6. You know, we're rocking prize picks all week. I don't, are you rocking FanDuel? What are you rocking?
I'm rocking sleepers, DraftKings, and Prize Picks. So I'm on
You
all
know,
3.
if you want the picks, feel free to message us. We'll give it out, no problem. But definitely the Brock Purdy, 3 TDs. I'm looking at Christian McCaffrey, at least 1 receiving or rushing touchdown. He's getting point 0.5 on prize picks, put him for 1. I think it's cash money all day.
Yeah,
Also, Patrick Mahomes over point 0.5 yards passing in the game. Freebie on prize
yeah.
picks, take it down. Last one, I'm going to say my surprise pick on here. Maybe to some, maybe not. Travis Kelce over 71 yards receiving in this game, in this Super Bowl. He's going to have a big game for the Chiefs.
I think the other one that you're missing out on, and I think it should be on every single person's bet sheet right now, is Brandon Ayuk over on his yards. He's going to at least have a touchdown, and I'm expecting some really big catches out of Brandon Ayuk.
Hopefully get our picks out on TikTok or Instagram somewhere. If you want them, message us, comment, whatever. We'll put them out there for you. And with that being said, we're going to move on to the offensive and defensive players of the year for Livezone and Mazzi. And Livezone, I'm going to leave the question to you. Who is your offensive player of the year this year?
Come on now. If you know Live Zone, you know where I'm going with this. I have one guy specifically in my mind for Offensive Player of the Year at the quarterback position. I said he was the Magic Johnson of the NFL, which I still agree with. Give me CJ Stroud. 4,108 yards in your rookie season is insane. Insane, okay? But then after that, we look at it, 23 touchdowns to 5 interception ratio is amazing. He has games where he had 5 touchdowns and 3 touchdown passes in one game, in a game where he threw for 470 yards. Looking at this, it's the clear winner for me. But my number 2, I would say, is Tyreek Hill on the backside. But just looking at CJ Stroud and what he's been doing as a rookie, he is my clear number 1 as the Offensive Player of the Year. And I also forgot to say, he did make the Pro Bowl as well. So we'll mention that as
CJ
well.
Stroud, you can't go wrong with it. You can't go wrong with that answer. You know, he was put in a great system, pretty much said, sling it, and let's see what happens. And, for him, it really worked out. I can't disagree with that pick, but I don't think you can really disagree with my pick either. I'm going with Christian McCaffrey, Offensive Player of the Year for the San Francisco 49ers. 14 touchdowns, tied second in carries, first in yards, over 1,400 yards this year. I mean, there was a span where you could pretty much guarantee he was going to score a touchdown in a game and lock that bet in. He's makes that offense even more explosive and open teams up even more when he's just on the field, let alone touching the ball and being able to make plays. He's dangerous all the time. We've seen it year in and year out again. CJ Stroud doing it his first year. This is nothing new for Christian McCaffrey. It continues to amaze me what he can do in his position, how versatile he is, and how he can help a team be great. 49ers again going for the Super Bowl once again. CJ Stroud making it to the second round of the playoffs, but couldn't go all the way to the Super Bowl with it. I think that leads me to believe that Christian McCaffrey is even more of an asset. Also, the team is better. You can argue that very well, easily. But Christian McCaffrey for me, Offensive Player of the Year. I like Tyreek Hill as well. For me, doesn't make an impact in the biggest games where they need him to. He makes an impact in the games that they should win, and he helps them win them handedly. But when it comes crunch time, where are you against Kansas City? Where are you in the playoffs? Where are you in week 17 against the Bills? Where are you? Okay. So that's why I couldn't give it to him either. But moving forward, we have a defensive player as well that we get to look at. Defensive Player of the Year, Livezone. Who do you got?
So, surprisingly, I have another player coming from the AFC, playing for the Las Vegas Raiders, defensive end. I have Max Crosby. All right. So, looking at his stats have been getting better every year consistently. He's been in the league for 5 years now, and it's just been consistently getting better. But 90 tackles this year, 35 assisted tackles, and 14 sacks with one assisted sack, and being the defensive core on the Las Vegas Raiders. I think that him with his energy definitely brought a lot to the defensive side, and probably honestly hyped up the offense a little bit to go out and score points when they were struggling. So for me, I have Max Crosby as my defensive player of the year. This is a guy that I personally would want on my team to be my defensive anchor, maybe other than Judon. So because Judon got injured and we didn't get to see a lot from Judon this year, Max Crosby is my guy.
Interesting pick in Max Crosby, to say the least. I definitely wasn't expecting that. I don't think a lot of other people were. Tough year in defense. Nothing really jumping off the page at us. But I was looking and I found one thing that jumped off the page to me. And that is the Dallas Cowboys cornerback, Deron Bland. 9 interceptions this year, breaking the single season record for the Dallas Cowboys. 5 of them were returned for touchdowns. Over half of his interceptions of the year, he ran back for 6 points. That is 5 games out of the year, you're putting 6 points up on the board for the Dallas Cowboys on defense. I'd say you're making a pretty impactful statement, not even on offense. You're impacting the game on defense. You're taking points away from the other team while you're doing it. I mean, that defense all year, too, was on point. Then came Green Bay in the playoffs. We all know how that played out. And that offense was putting up numbers. So even with that defensive corner bringing in touchdowns for you, that margin of victory was more and more each time. So impactful. Really just a great year. He's only in his second year as well. So, I mean, I'm looking for great things to come. He had 5 interceptions in his first year. He's got 9 in his second year, 14 interceptions in 2 years, averaging 7 a year. That's Hall of Fame pace right now. So, as a defensive player, you cannot ask much more. As a defensive coach, you can't. And as a head coach, you can't ask for more than that. Wow, you heard it here first. Those are the picks for Devin McCourty for the Super Bowl. I'm excited as can be. Sunday's going to be a hell of a game. We're going to transition it into the piece de resistance. What you've all been waiting for. Livezone and Mazzi's Super Bowl predictions. Livezone. Who you got and what you got the score being?
Oh, man, it's right about that time. It's hot take time. Yes, sir. I am taking the Kansas City Chiefs. Yes, sir. You heard it here. I've been trying to not take them all year, and it's been one of those years that we're just going to see Patrick Mahomes continue to do great things. We're going to see Travis Kelce do great things. And honestly, we're going to see the defense do great things because they're going to stop players such as Christian McCaffrey, such as Deebo Samuel, such as Kittle, maybe even Brock Purdy. You might see an interception there or something. But what I'm going to say is that the players that I'm looking out to do great on the offensive side are not what you would expect. I'm not expecting Travis Kelce to go off. I'm expecting my guy that I've been with all year, picking him in every single bet that I put on for Sunday. Isaiah Pacheco is going to do great in this year's Super Bowl.
What do you got the
And
score being?
for the score, I got a 34-31 victory. I do think that your boy Brock Purdy will get at least 3 touchdown passes, like I said earlier. I just don't think it will be enough to get it done against Patrick Mahomes.
Game-winning field goal, or Niners don't miss the
110%.
field goal? How's the winning score?
Well, you see, it's going to be 31-31, so we're going to have a field goal on each side. But the thing that I'm seeing is that 1 minute or 2 minutes left in the fourth quarter, you see the Kansas City Chiefs put up a field goal, and then after that, that defense and goes and gets a stop, and then that's the game. That's wraps right there and then.
Can't say I don't like the pick at all. If you know me, I've been on the opposite end of that. I've been riding the Chiefs all year long. From the start of this playoffs, no matter where they landed, it's Patrick Mahomes. You cannot count him out for any reason whatsoever. The defense is coming into its own, like a New England Patriots defense with Tom Brady playing tough D at the right time, but Livezone said it here. It's hot take time, and I am going with the San Francisco 49ers to win this game. I'm
We agree
taking
to
them the
disagree.
entire postseason. I think it's the one game the defense doesn't show up. I think it's a shootout. Patrick Mahomes all this year was dropping balls during the regular season with his wide receivers. I think that shows up in the Super Bowl. It comes down to some crucial drop passes. I believe the San Francisco 49ers third time is the charm since 1995, and they win their first Super Bowl, and I'm going to a parade a couple days after it down the street from my house. That's what I'm predicting. 31-21. San Francisco
Ooh.
49ers.
All right, I like the pick. I like the pick. I mean, either way, you can't go wrong because we either get to see the heights of Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce, or we get to see Mr. Irrelevant prove Cam Newton wrong. So either way, I'm happy with it.
And say, well, what do you think coin toss is going to be, heads or tails?
Ooh, ooh. We're gonna say tails, and that the 49ers are gonna lose it.
All right, I'm going heads, and I'm saying Niners are going to lose it as well.
All
That's
right,
that.
I like it. I like it.
Super Bowl Sunday. We are going live on TikTok. Don't forget, me and Livezone. We will be live on TCN, the Consumption Network,
The
right?
Consumption Network. The
Yeah.
Consumption Network on TikTok and Live Zone Sports on TikTok. I will be on the Live Zone Sports one. Mazzi will be on the Consumption Network one. We will be there for the Super Bowl. We will be packed with people there. People will be commenting. We'll be giving our play-by-play like Peyton Manning and Eli Manning do. It's going to be a great time. Don't miss out on it.
That's it for this episode of Live Zone Sports Super Bowl edition. Next time we see you, there's going to be a lot to talk about.
Stay tuned.